Hey, come see us on tour. We'll be in Chicago, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Duluth, Georgia, right outside of Atlanta, Jacksonville, Florida, Tempe, Arizona, and Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets. Jackson the Hair Hinkle, has tweeted out that Maduro said the same system that killed John F. Kennedy and attempted to kill Donald Trump is trying to sow civil strife in Venezuela. And again, that's another thing that the people who, for some reason, get their dander up over the election in Venezuela and how you can't vote your way out of communism and all that bullshit. What you're doing is actually propping up the people and the system that killed Kennedy and tried to kill Trump. That's what you're really doing. And he has a short speech. I won't go into it, but would you agree with that assessment? Because I would.
Totally. And, Maduro actually agreed to fight Elon Musk today.
I saw that.
Time and place, because they're willing to put themselves out there like that. And Maduro actually said even after Trump's assassination attempt, which, by the way, there was an assassination attempt on Maduro's life, overseen by, Maduro says, John Bolton when Trump was in office.
Yes.
And he still came out and said that political violence is wrong, totally graciously and, with class, I would say, defending Trump there, despite Trump's own attempts to overthrow his government. But Jimmy, I just feel that there's been such an awakening in the United States over the past few years. And I know you feel it too, whether it's what happened through the COVID experience or now with the war in Gaza. I do think people are waking up. Even people that previously felt like they were in these silos left and right and they had to think a certain way. Those are breaking down. And I feel like this is kind of the last step. The Americas, because we've been so heavily propagandized about communism and evil dictators down south and the Cubans and all of that there's still just this large group in the US that, even though they're thinking critically now for the first time on, Ukraine or Gaza even, this is still a blind spot. So I think, your show is playing a very important role breaking through that barrier. And we just have to keep, especially pointing out the influence of foreign lobbies and the fact that we're not running a policy towards Venezuela that is America first. I think the more we make those points, the more we can continue to spread this awakening and people can start to think more rationally when it comes to our neighborhood. Because honestly, I think that's the most important region to understand. Like, forget about Europe and the Middle East. That's far away. Like, we should have a good policy there, but we're going to have to deal with our neighbors first and foremost. And Venezuela has been an ally of ours ever since we were fighting for our own freedom from the British Empire. Venezuelan revolutionaries came and fought alongside us. Francisco Miranda laid siege to King George's troops in Florida before the Venezuelans fought their own war of independence against the Spanish. So I just hope that people start to wake up as to what's going on here, because if a civil war breaks out in Venezuela, it's only going to become a regional war that's actually part of a world war that I don't think we want on our doorstep.
No, certainly the citizenry of the America doesn't want that. But I think actually, well, I know that they do. The people who are the oligarchs and the economic hitmen, as I like to call them, and their mouthpieces are people like Bolton and Trump when he's doing sanctions on places like Venezuela. They do want to. I mean, that's what Trump was basically saying. It's like, oh, the country was just about ready to go over and into a civil war, and we could have went in and got all that oil. That's exactly what they want to have happen, and that is exactly what the unintended consequences of that are horrific for the United States. But again, those people don't care. The rich people who want that, because they feel like they are going to be safe in their bunkers.
Yeah. I mean, just think of the images that we see in Europe because of all the wars that we've had in North Africa and the Middle East, of the boats coming across the Mediterranean. That is what we will have in the United States. It's not going to be just the border. It's going to be absolute destitution and desperation trying to get here because of our policies. So I think we should hit the brakes.
Okay, Anya Parampel. Everybody should check out her book, which is #1 on Amazon in the Venezuelan history category. It's called Corporate Coup, Venezuela and the End of the U.S. Empire. Thanks so much for coming on. It's great to talk to you.
Nice to see you, Jimmy.
Okay. Hey, come see us on tour. We'll be in Chicago, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Duluth, Georgia, right outside of Atlanta, Jacksonville, Florida, Tempe, Arizona, and Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets.